You ever wonder what kind of classic you could grab for less than 2 grand? I'm talking real metal, V8s, chrome, fins, and history, all sitting out there just waiting for someone crazy enough to drag them home. Today, we're diving into 10 cheap project cars that prove you don't need deep pockets to start wrenching. 1. 1966 Plymouth Belvedere 2 Satellite. Here's a real time capsule. A 1966 Plymouth Belvedere 2 factory V8 car, VIN decoded and everything. But don't get too excited. This thing's been sleeping outdoors for 2 to 3 decades. The interior's shot, the tires are flat, and only the driver's door opens. The seller's upfront about it. No title, just a bill of sale. But you do get that 318 V8 under the hood and the old school lines of a mid-60s Mopar sedan. For $1,500, it's basically a time-warp parts car or a daring resurrection project. If you've got patience and a tetanus shot, this could be a fun one. 2. 1965 Ford Thunderbird. Next up, a 65 Thunderbird that looks like it's halfway between project and parts donor. The seller bought it 2 years ago intending to pull the drivetrain, but never got around to it. It's got a 360 automatic, disc brakes, and apparently ran once when someone hot-wired the coil. But there are no keys, no seats, and plenty of rust on the roof and floorboards. No title either, but at $1,500 OBO, it could be a solid drivetrain donor or a future resto mod shell if you've got ambition and a welder. 3. 1968 Dodge Monaco. Here's a sleeper, a 68 Dodge Monaco with a 383 big block and 727 transmission, and yes, it runs. That alone makes it one of the more alive cars on today's list. The frame's got a weak spot behind the rear spring, but nothing a bit of welding can't fix. Paint's faded, interior's tired, but it's all there, and it's a big body Mopar sedan with muscle car DNA. You could daily drive it rough or strip it for the motor and trans. Both options are fair game at 2 grand. 4. 1964 Pontiac Le Mans Tempest. Car number 4 is a 64 Pontiac Le Mans. Well, technically, it's a Tempest with a 326 and automatic. The seller says what you see is what you get, and yeah, there's rust. But it's got a good title, which is worth something in this price range. This one's pure barn find energy. You're not buying a car, you're buying a weekend full of possibilities and tetanus again. But underneath all that rust, this is early GTO territory. Same body, same spirit, and a lot cheaper to get into.
5. 1969 Chevrolet Impala. Now here's a true classic full-size cruiser that still has some fight left in it. A 1969 Chevrolet Impala priced at just $900. Painted in that unmistakable late 60s green-on-green combo, this car is begging for a second chance. Under the hood sits a 350 small block V8. And the best part? It runs. Sure, it's a project, but with a clean title and an engine that still fires, you're already halfway there. Whether you're dreaming of turning it into a lowrider, a sleeper, or just a weekend cruiser, this Impala gives you a strong starting point for under $1,000, and that's hard to find these days.
6. 1956 Lincoln Capri. Now here's something special, a 1956 Lincoln Capri sitting in a barn for the last 30 years. It's got that unmistakable mid-50s luxury look, long, wide, and loaded with chrome. The seller says it's complete with its original V8 and blue interior, but don't expect it to start anytime soon. At $1,500, this is pure barn find glory. The kind of car you don't restore for profit, you do it for pride. Big body, heavy doors, and that jet-age dashboard make this Lincoln a piece of rolling Americana, waiting for someone brave enough to bring it back. Seven, 1950 Chevrolet station wagon. All right, now we're really stepping into project car territory. This 1950 Chevy wagon is listed at $1,000. No title, floors rusted out, and it's been sitting long enough to blend in with the dirt. But here's the thing, early 50s wagons have a cult following. Even in this shape, the body lines, grille, and trim pieces are worth rescuing. If you've got a welder and a soft spot for vintage family haulers, this could be your gateway to a real cool resto mod build, or at least a killer parts donor. Eight, 1971 Dodge Demon. Up next, a 1971 Dodge Demon for $1,000. Yeah, you read that right, a Demon. It's rough, it's missing a title, and it needs everything. But it is a factory 318 V8 car with a 727 transmission. The seller's realistic, total restoration, or just use it for parts. But even as a shell, a real 71 Demon under $2K is getting rare. You could part this one out and make your money back easily. Or if you're bold, you could turn it into a lightweight drag car. Either way, it's one of those buy it before someone else does kind of listings. Nine, 1979 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. Now here's a solid deal for anyone building a second-gen Camaro. A 79 Z28 parts car for $1,200. Interior's mostly there, and it comes with extra rear quarters, an extra set of doors, rear glass, trunk lid, and even more spare bits. It's not a driver, it's a donor, but these cars are gold for people hunting for OEM panels and trim. Even the badging alone can fetch some cash. If you've already got a Camaro project going, this one could save you a ton in parts hunting and shipping. Ten, 1976 Chevrolet El Camino. And finally, a 76 Chevy El Camino for $1,500. Non-driving, but the 350 engine and transmission both run. The seller says it can't be driven due to bad fuel and brake lines. Pretty minor stuff compared to the horror shows we've seen earlier. It's got decent tires, good chrome, and even a working battery. Toss in a day or two a line replacement, and you might have a driveway runner here. The seller even warns not to message, "Is this still available?" which tells you how fast this one's probably getting attention. So, which one would you take home? The forgotten Lincoln barn find or that scrappy 71 Demon? Let me know down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you love hunting old school bargains, because next time we're going even deeper into the cheapest classics still out there for sale.